Carmelo Anthony have been put on hold, according to Adrian Wojnarowski. Things could change if LA turns things around for a playoff push out west. Back to the NFL. The Falcons announced they franchised defensive tackle Grady Jarrett. The two sides have been negotiating a long-term extension but remain far apart. The tag value for a defensive tackle expected to be over $15 million. The two sides have until July 15th to work out a deal. Adam Schefter reporting the Eagles are not picking up Tim Jernigan's option year. The defensive tackle will be a free agent on March 13th when the new league year begins. The move frees up an extra $7 million for the Eagles.
The Celtics lost again Sunday for the 5th time in 6 games. It began 11 days ago with a close loss in Milwaukee. Kyrie cut the lead to 1 in the final 30 seconds. Missed a tough floater here at the buzzer that could have won the game. The league later admitted it should have been a foul called too little too late.
Did you feel like you got a foul in that play?
I ain't know. No. I love my money.
Okay, 2 nights later, Chicago. Boston had a chance to rebound against this Bulls team that they had beaten the last time by 56 points. Kyrie had 37 points, 10 dimes, but the Celtics ended up losing by 10. Listen to him with the media afterwards.
You're concerned the struggle that you guys have had will leak into the playoffs?
No, I'll be fine.
Why do you think that?
Because I'm here.
All right, here's the problem. He really wasn't there. The whole team failed to show up. He only had 7 points in Toronto a couple of days later. They were outscored 36-13 in the second quarter, their worst loss of the season. Afterwards, the team searching for answers.
Brad talked about just defensively, guys have been taking shortcuts. So do you see that, and how do you guys fix things like that at this point of the season, do you feel like?
I don't know. It's up to Brad.
All right, so it's up to your coach, Brad Stevens. Here's the thing. They couldn't find their groove at home either on Wednesday against the Trailblazers. Damian Lillard and company had their way with them. Kyrie, once again, frustrated by the loss despite a 31-point effort.
I can't wait for us all this other BS about regular season and keep getting better and talking over and over and over and again about what we can do to keep getting better in the regular season. I just want to be at the highest level playing. I mean, that's what I'm here for.
So they rebounded with the win Friday against the Wizards, and then they looked flat again yesterday. They trailed by as many as 28 points to the Rockets before mounting a late rally that happened without Kyrie on the court. Make sure you don't forget that part. They fell short, though. Afterwards, he was friendly again.
Kyrie, do you think you guys can come together on this road trip?
We'll see.
Let's bring in Stephen A. Smith. Stephen A., the Celtics keep losing. Pressure keeps mounting, not just on Kyrie, but on the coach, the GM as well. We'll get there, but let's start with Kyrie. He's been more open, as you know, about trying to learn how to lead this team. But what we just saw does not look like leadership to me. What do you say they need from Kyrie Irving right now?
They just need him to play and stop being so sensitive to the media coverage. The media is going to cover the sport. They're going to be ultra critical because the Boston Celtics came into this game with expectations. You went to the Eastern Conference Finals within 48 minutes of a trip to the NBA Finals last year without Kyrie Irving and the players because he got injured, and without Gordon Hayward for the whole season because he got hurt 5 minutes into his debut as a Boston Celtics in Game 1 against the Cleveland Cavaliers last year. So because of those realities, you got a lot of guys that believe in themselves, and you have sports media out there that had a lot of great expectations for the Boston Celtics, myself included. They're not living up to it. The criticism comes with the territory. The critique and the dissection comes along with the territory. Kyrie knows that better than most. He should understand that and let it go.
Especially considering leaving Cleveland, he wanted this on his shoulders. He wanted to be the man. Part of that includes the tough times, and so far he hasn't handled it well. But as you alluded to, the entire season has not felt right in Boston from the get-go, Stephen A. Where do you think Brad Stevens is the head coach, GM President Danny Ainge, where do you think they have fallen short?
I think they're at the forefront in my estimation. I haven't heard anybody else say it, but I'll say it for you. They're at the forefront. Danny Ainge, in this case, he wants to justify the $130 million contract he gave to Gordon Hayward. To Gordon Hayward. And obviously, if you're Brad Stevens, this is a man that starred for you as a college coach at Butler, took you to a national championship game, and obviously there's a strong level of affection that you may have for him. But I don't think people have strongly considered the kind of distraction it has been. Gordon Hayward was not ready to ball. He's still not the player that he once was in Utah because the injury was that nasty. But not only do you bring him back prematurely, you insert him into the starting lineup. That served to divide the locker room. You had a lot of guys out there. They like Gordon Hayward. They think he's a nice guy. But they also know that he's not on their level as of yet because he's not what he used to be. So essentially you divided the locker room because you've got people in there who don't believe he should have been in the lineup to begin with. And you got guys like Terry Rozier looking to get paid. Kyrie Irving is going to be a free agent. He's looking to get paid. And you got this guy that you're trying to reingratiate into the proceedings. And a lot of folks think that wasn't the wisest decision for the Boston Celtics to make. And because of that reality, it served as a divisive force, and nobody is pointing out that at all. Danny Ainge and Brad Stevens felt compelled to make sure that Gordon Hayward was a part of the equation from the jump. Why do you think that is?
What a difference a year has made in Boston, Massachusetts. Stephen A. and the Celtics, whose upcoming schedule, anything but friendly because they start a 4-game California road trip tomorrow. And guess who they've got first? You got it, the defending champion Golden State Warriors. That's followed by the Kings, then 2 at Staples Center. The Lakers.
The playoffs. Zion Williamson was 4, and that was 14 years ago.
Long time ago. You know, it's one thing to lose important games down the stretch late in the season. It's another thing to do it the way LeBron James and the Los Angeles Lakers have been doing it. Let's just say it was not a good weekend for the purple and gold. Their downward spiral continued Friday night against the Bucks, who still have the best record in the league. But LA was outscored 15-2 in the final 3 minutes, and the game ended with LeBron leaving the floor before time ran out. What? Okay, next night they went from facing the team with the best record in the league, to the worst. Similar results, though. They fell to the Suns, trailing by as many as 19 points. Watch this in the third quarter. LeBron lazy, inbounding off the backboard. That's a turnover. That's not good. And then if they're going to rebound this week, it will not be easy. They have 3 games, all against current playoff teams. Tonight, they host the Clippers, then the Nuggets on Wednesday, and the Celtics Saturday night on ABC. That face says it all there. No rest for the weary. Here's LeBron today.
I don't believe that we're flawed. I believe we're a little bit inexperienced. I believe we have some things that we can always get better at. I think we're a young team, and we all knew that coming into the season. And we're putting together a team, to be together for the first year and trying to figure things out on the fly. I don't want to say that there's a problem with this team. And when you're not winning ball games, you can always say, "Oh, there's a problem." I don't believe in that. I believe there's things that we can do much better and be more consistent. But we still, have an opportunity to be great today. And we should take advantage of that, or at least try to.
If the Lakers are going to make the postseason, they're going to have to do what's rarely been done before. Here's the thing. They're 4.5 games out of a playoff spot with just 19 games left to play. Only 3 teams have made the playoffs facing this large of a deficit this late in the season. The 97 Washington Bullets, the 02 Raptors, and the 05 New Jersey Nets. And none of them went on to win a playoff series. Stephen A. Smith will be in Los Angeles all week as the Lakers start a 3-game stretch that really could decide their season. And Stephen A. LeBron has got to lead the way if they're going to defy the odds and somehow make the playoffs. We just saw him leaving the court early against Milwaukee. So let's start with him. What do you need to see from him over these final 19 games?
Better leadership. Not stop pointing the finger at other people for mistakes that you make. LeBron James is arguably the greatest player in the world. We all know that. But the flip side is that he hasn't been himself defensively. There's a lot of defensive assignments he's missed, and engaging in histrionics and being demonstrative on the basketball court, pointing the finger at other people. That's just not going to cut it in the eyes of his teammates. That definitely is point number 1. Point number 2 is just recognizing the fact that the Lakers are on the brink of elimination and playing like it. If the Los Angeles Lakers lose tonight, in my estimation, they lose tonight to the Los Angeles Clippers, they're not making the playoffs. This is it for them. As far as I'm concerned, this is the last go-round. This is the last dance. They don't make it. They don't win the night's game against the Clippers. They're not making the playoffs. Play like it. Play with a level of desperation and encourage your teammates to do the same and encourage your coach to do the same. And you might still have salvation somewhere along the line.
Yeah. All right, let's assume that they don't make the playoffs because at this point it is a very, very, very long shot just to be nice. What's the long-term fallout, Stephen A., if they don't make these playoffs this year?
I'm not worried about the long-term fallout based on whether or not they make the playoffs this year. I'm worried about the long-term fallout stage in the event that LeBron James and Magic Johnson can't recruit anybody to come to L.A. We're not hearing about Kevin Durant being a Laker. We're hearing about Kyrie potentially willing to come to the Lakers, but I don't know how reasonable or you know, that is. Obviously, the Jimmy Butlers of the world, the Kawhi Leonards of the world, the Anthony Davis you need, the Pelicans to cooperate. We know all of those things. It is entirely possible that the Lakers could go out there and get a couple of elite guys to join LeBron James, or get absolutely, positively nothing. And if that ends up being the case this summer, with the following summer, LeBron's movie Space Jam coming out. Remember, it was Michael Jordan before. Now it's him. All those things that he had in his vision, all of those things that he was planning, everything begins to unravel and fall apart if they don't get him some help this summer. That's what it comes down to.
But also, to your